in the process of all this, I will share a lot of personal experiences that I have been able to go through. Like one of them was, I remember I started being invited to lecture business management courses and marketing courses in some universities, private universities, especially in master students when I did not have an MBA at that time yet. Because the various co-proprietors or the various lecturers, when they used to read about the business strategies and processes that I write on my blog or I share on Facebook, which I still do till today, they always like to come and just come and share some of these things that are very practical to the students in our business school. And that alone has contributed a lot greatly to the work I have been able to do. And I will share a lot again in that. I always like to believe that if you are a young person and you have never asked these kind of questions, which I will show you, then I think that you are not thinking hard about your life and career. And these are questions that start coming to your mind based on the kind of growth you want to experience, and you have discovered that the kind of growth that you desire, the normal structures around you. When I say normal structures, I may be talking about our schools. I may be talking about maybe the people you look up to. The normal structures around us do not have the capacity to enhance that growth that you desire. And when you start thinking in that direction, you start asking certain questions. One of them could be, which are the careers that fit me that have growth potential in this present and future economy? The truth is that if you are really conscious about your own development, either professionally or looking at your personal attitude, attributes, character, and so on, you get to start asking questions like this. What kind of character do I need to develop in order to take advantage of the present opportunities and the future opportunities in my industry, in my sector? Which are the careers that fit me that have growth potential in the present and the future economy? The second question you should be asking yourself could be, which career path would give me a deep sense of satisfaction and purpose? This is one thing that the drive or the journey into personal development will reveal to you. You will start discovering those things that give you deep satisfaction and reveal your established purpose to you. If there is one thing that personal development will unveil to you, is the path you have to walk. And if possible, that path may be the path you will walk through for the rest of your life. Because it reveals a lot of things about your personality, about how you view the society, about how you analyze things, and about how you like to communicate your perspectives or your point of view. So when you start asking all of these two questions, it means that you're thinking very hard about your personal development. I have this small game I created one time, and I always share it sometimes on social media. I always say, this is how to fail in life. You know why? Because in the work that we do, we have strongly advocated and motivated and challenged people and teach people, oh, this is what you should do in order for you to succeed in your business or in your career. And sometimes at the end, I was like, teaching these things and people are not getting anybody the way you expect. Maybe we just teach them how to fail faster so that we stop bothering ourselves on how to show them how to succeed, right? And this is the best way to fail in life, right? Don't take action. Don't bother to take action at all. Just be you. Don't take any risks. Don't try new things. Just be there. Be a people pleaser. Try to please everybody. You want to make sure that anything you say, you want people to say yes, right? Don't read. Don't invest in buying books and taking courses, in attending seminars like this, for example. Don't connect with amazing people. Stay in your corner like one native doctor in a film, and just be there and avoid people. You're going to fail very fast. Abuse, blame, and complain. Blame your family for where you are. Blame your government. Blame your president. Blame your minister. Blame your chief in your community. You are going to succeed very, very fast. And one thing about personal development is that when you are able to drive your personal development journey in a very powerful and committed way, you start seeing that these things start moving away from you, and you start manifesting different things. You start being a very proactive person. You start being somebody who takes risks and venture into the unknown. You start being somebody who is a critical thinker, an independent thinker, and you decide to choose and pursue what is important for your career and for your own future. You are not worried about pleasing people. You begin to study so that you can show yourself approved and become the best there is in your sector. You begin to connect with the right people so that you can be able to bring value to the table. I always like to say that until you are sitting in the table, until you are in that room where opportunities are discussed, you would never have access to opportunities. Or until somebody is in the room that knows you, who can mention your name in that room, you will never have access to opportunity. Guess what? Talent is equally distributed. We all are talented. If you go to the deepest village in your country, you're going to see the most talented young man in that village. But guess what? Opportunities are not equally distributed. Everybody does not have access to opportunity. And there are many opportunities that will only come to you when you learn how to connect with the right people. Instead of abusing and blaming and complaining about your life and what your government has not done or what they have done, you start taking initiative and pushing yourself to being a problem solver. And this is the kind of mentality that personal development will do for you. This is one of the most popular quotes about personal development by Rohn, the godfather of personal development. He said, "Formal education will make you a living. Self-education, which is personal development, will make you a fortune." And I always say that when you bring formal education together with self-education or personal development, it will make you and turn you into somebody that no human being on earth can resist. There's a lot of power, and there's a possibility of combining the two. Become excellent in formal education, and because there are some doors that until you have certain certifications, you will not walk through those doors, no matter how good you are, because there are policies in certain structures that respect those kind of qualifications. Meanwhile, there are some doors that they're going to focus just on the value that you bring to the table. I always challenge young people, go for formal education, get it. But in all that getting, make sure that you invest and plan effectively for your self-education. I have a primary thing I do with I have a group of young people I mentor, especially entrepreneurs. One of the goals I give them is you are not supposed to have less than a master's degree. You are supposed to have at least an MBA program. It's very important in your journey to success. There are some societies, there are some structures, there are some systems that in your journey you're going to meet, and they're going to ask you for things like that. I always give a typical example. When it comes to business strategy and consulting and the work I do, I have no doubt I am one of the best that there is. But let me tell you, there were some doors that I could not open. There were some doors that I could not get the opportunity to walk through. But the day that I added MBA in my CV, I started having access to some companies that nobody wanted to hear my name, internationally especially. So self-education will give you deep, specialized niche skills, but formal education will help you to create a very good impression and increase acceptability towards your path. You are on a better path. If you are good in formal education, you have the right qualifications, and you're excellent when it comes to self-education. Now let's go proper to the core of my presentation. core elements to plan effectively for personal development. If you are still there, because we are in Cameroon and MTN can do anything at any time. If you are still getting me, please let me know, just to be sure. Are you still there?
Yeah, you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, we can get you.
Good, thank you for confirming that. All right, let's proceed. So we're going to look at core elements to plan effectively for personal development. And these elements, I drafted them down based on looking at my journey, looking at other people, talking to people. I'm one of those trainers that I don't just draft things because I drafted them. No, I analyze. I sometimes I interview people. I talk to friends who have been able to grow in the echelon of success, maybe running their own companies, working in international agencies like UNDP and UNESCO and so on. Let them share practically what they have discovered in their journey or in the process of seeking their own success salvation. And I was able to create these core elements, which I believe that any young person, if you are able to practice some of these elements practically and invest diligently in your personal development, it is going to cause a shift. And I'm going to do my best to give you very practical, relatable experiences so that you see how this is possible for you if you begin to implement it. Number one way to plan for your personal development is stretch beyond your school program. Stretch beyond your school program. Yes, this is one of the best ways that you can plan for your personal development. Intentionally start investing to stretch beyond your school program. This is both for people. Hello?
Excuse me. Yes, doctor. I don't know if you're moving the slides because we are still on your very first slide.
Yes, I'm moving the slides. What could be the problem? Let me see. Let me stop and reshare. Could it be? Let me try to move. Can you see number 1 point?
Yes. Try to move the slide a bit.
Can you see number 2?
No. Try to put in PowerPoint mode before moving, let's say.
I think it's in PowerPoint mode.
PowerPoint mode.
Are you not seeing in PowerPoint mode?
No, we are seeing it still in the presentation. Not.
So, number 1 point is stretch beyond your school program. And this goes both for people who are still in school and for people who have left school, because there are people that when they leave school they still depend on what they studied in school. Meanwhile, the marketplace is changing so fast. We are in the fastest changing marketplace ever. And if you are in school and you are not stretching yourself, you are not intentionally trying to invest to understand what is happening in my industry, which I am still a student that I need to start learning before I leave school. Same for people who have left school. If you have left school, you need to study beyond what you did in school. So you need to start identifying what are the new things that I need to start learning beyond what I was taught in school. For example, if you read marketing in school, either MBA or degree level, and you graduated last 2 years, your school probably did not teach you a lot about digital marketing. They did not teach you a lot about search engine optimization. They did not teach you about TikTok videos, creating TikTok videos. I'm one of those. I was talking to a school proprietor a few days back, and I was saying you need to add the creation of TikTok videos to your marketing program. When you look at the way the world is going to right now, where we are, TikTok videos create the most powerful advertising engagement videos on earth right now. TikTok has 1 billion users at the moment. You see, but those are things that your school program traditionally will not teach. It's the same like anybody who left school 2 years ago and you have a master's in finance or banking and finance and you have no idea about fintech and cryptocurrency. There's something wrong with you, because the knowledge that you have about the finance sector is outdated. Where banking is right now and where it will be in 2 years to come, what you studied will not help you. So you're going to need that. And that goes the same for every other industry. The same like somebody who read pharmacy. Now, many pharmacies just last year I provided consulting to about 2-3 pharmacies. They're seriously building technology around how to dispense drugs and other drugs and all of that so that their clients can use it. So if you don't know how to, you don't understand pharmacy and technology merged together, you are going to struggle. And that's part of personal development. What I insist earlier, personal professional development. So this is one of the first core things that we young people need to look at. Stretch beyond your school program. That is where you will start discovering areas where you need to invest personally to develop yourself and your career to perform better. Number 2, reflect on your motivations. Yeah. Your motivations about the things that you want to do or you desire to achieve can be a very important factor for you to plan your personal development. We grew and developed. Your motivations 10 years back are not necessarily the same motivation today. Today I was writing something. I'm writing something today. I'm going to share that soon. I wrote something today about location and opportunities. What does that mean? And I was using myself as an example. I was saying that there are some opportunities that I have had access to because I live in Douala now, which I never used to have access to when I used to live in Kumbo. Where to say Banso, right? And it is the same for motivation. You cannot compare the motivation of a 20-year-old young guy who lives in a village where there's no light, no internet, and compare the same motivation with a 20-year-old guy who lives in Bamenda or Douala who has the internet, sees things and watch television consistently. They're going to have, although they're in the same age group, they are all male, they're all young men, but they're going to have different motivations because of their exposure, because of how they have grown and how they have developed. It is the same for us. The kind of growth and development that we have experienced changes our motivations. The same that when you see somebody who has traveled out of the country, out of Cameroon for the first time and goes to a developed country, maybe in the Middle East, in Europe or in America, the truth is that your motivations are always stretched. There are some things you start desiring to know and study, which normally they were not there. So start checking your motivations. How are they changing? What is motivating you? How are your aspirations changing? And how can you become better at manifesting these motivations? Because when you look at these motivations, you start seeing gaps. You start seeing gaps. That, for me to do this, I need to be good at this. For me to manifest this particular motivation, I need to be excellent at this particular skill. Boom, you now go to your personal development journey and start studying that thing that can enable you to manifest your motivation. So check your motivation. I wrote something one time and I said, while we were in secondary school, we thought that life was all about asking that beautiful girl in class. Life was all about watching wrestling and watching football and playing football after school. When we now left university, we now knew that life was all about trying to really thrive and survive and pay bills and do certain stuff. While in secondary school, we had different motivations, totally different. They didn't make sense. Maybe to an elderly person, but to us at that time, they were critically very important. Like going to a nightclub was a very important motivation at that particular time. But as we have grown over time, we have seen that, there are different things that get to motivate us. And those things gives room for personal development opportunities for you. Number 3, identify and build core transferable skills. This is very, very critical in every professional's life. If you are a young person listening to me right now and you are in school or you are a job seeker or you are a worker and you don't have core skills that you can transfer from one profession to another, you are lacking a lot. One of the things that sets you apart as a professional is the ability to seamlessly transfer from one profession to another. And what enhances that quick transfer are the transferable skills that you have developed in your previous profession and bringing it to the new profession or a new career you want to develop. It's like somebody is a corporate worker in a bank and you want to transfer from being an employee in a bank to becoming a finance coach. Okay, that's changing career, that's good. But what are the transferable skills that you can bring from your banking job into the finance coaching profession? That goes to you. What transferable skills do you have? What are examples of top transferable skills? Public speaking, communication, critical thinking, interpersonal skills, networking. These are core transferable skills. Creative thinking, innovative thinking, a winning mindset, self-leadership. These are all transferable skills that if you give a truck pusher, he's going to use it. If you give a teacher, they're going to use it. If you give a doctor, they will need it. If you give a lawyer, they will need it. If you give an agri technician, they will need it. If you give an engineer, they will need it. You give a civil guy, he's going to need it. So check yourself. If you are here and you struggle to speak in public, then that is a personal development opportunity for you. Go start studying and improving yourself in public speaking. If you don't know how to drive intelligent conversation is a transferable skill. You cannot talk something that makes sense. You cannot hold an engaging conversation for 5 to 10 minutes with somebody who makes sense. You need to study the art of driving intelligent conversation. You cannot negotiate a deal. You cannot negotiate or lobby something from somebody or from a group of people or from an institution. You need to start investing in that part. Do you have the right transferable skills that you can move from one place to another? Even if you are still in school. In school, you can develop transferable skills. Leadership, communication, engaging with different people, interpersonal skills, creative thinking, critical thinking, networking. It's time for us to be very intentional at developing and being excellent at transferable skills because they are very critical to enable you to survive in any profession at any time. And we are in a dispensation whereby your job can be changed at any time. The nature of your work can be impacted at any time. Like for example, digital skills are transferable skills. Let me share a short experience. In 2020, at the heat of COVID-19, moving from 2019 to 2020, I had 11 invitations to speak in 11 different countries. And guess what? At the heat of COVID-19, all of them were cancelled. And about 9 or 8 were moved virtually. So if I did not have virtual collaboration skills or digital skills, I would have struggled because these companies or these event organizers, they don't just use Google Meet. They don't just use Zoom. Some use Microsoft Teams. Some have their own technology that have developed and all of that. And you need to be very quick at knowing how to use some of these platforms. Like we are all connected to this Google Meet right now. We are all from different backgrounds. So it means that whatever profession you are in, having virtual digital skills that you can use to collaborate and work with people and meet with people is a transferable skill. So look at yourself. But you see networking, you see communication, you see public speaking, you see creative thinking, you see interpersonal skills and digital skills. These are very critical for you when it comes to transferable skills. If you are lacking in any of these, start taking action to making sure that you develop yourself to be excellent at all of this. Because in any country, in any continent, if you have the right transferable skills, you will always shine. You will always shine. Because you will always be able to influence the right people at the right time and get access to opportunities that will set you apart. Number 4, pay attention to job and industry trends. Yes, this is one of the best ways to discover how you want to develop yourself. What are the new trends happening around your job? What are the new trends happening around your industry? Pay attention to them. Every job, every profession, every industry has trends. And that is why it's very good. I always advise professionals, please sign up to newsletters. Every industry has top performing experts. Every industry has top organization. Like if you're in technology and you are not receiving weekly newsletters from Apple, Microsoft, IBM, Facebook, Twitter, all of these great companies, something is wrong with you somewhere. I think so. If you are in healthcare and you are not receiving newsletters from CDC, newsletters from World Health Organization, newsletters from any important healthcare institution around the world, something is wrong with you. Because that is one of the best ways to keep track of the changes or the new trends happening in your job or industry. Another advice is find top 3 performing universities in your industry or in the job that you are doing or in the field you're studying as a student and subscribe to their newsletters. Like for example, you don't expect me as a business consultant and trainer. I am not reading newsletters from Harvard Business School. I am not reading newsletters from Stanford University. I am not reading newsletters from Northwest University. How am I going to keep track of the industry trend? Because professors in these schools are the movers and shakers of these industries. I am not following maybe the Tesla guy, Elon Musk. This is a guy that when he tweets one thing, it shakes the whole market. Well, I'm not following Strive Masiyiwa or Richard Branson because these are, I call them principalities. It is the same like in your country. There are thought leaders, there are institutions that they are like principalities and powers in every industry. And one of the best ways to track trends in jobs and pay attention to your personal development is for you to know what is happening, what are the new trends. Example again, in 2020, I did a course in how do they call this thing? I did a course in India on robotic process automation business analyst. Robotic process automation business analyst. When COVID-19 hit the first time, it did, a lot changed about consulting. A lot changed. Even me, I saw a lot. In December 2019, all the strategies I developed for my clients across Africa on how they can dominate the African market in 2020, COVID-19 destroyed all of them. Because I did not anticipate COVID-19. No consultant saw it coming. So automatically, when COVID-19 forced people to work from home, logistics on a standstill, flights are not moving, the seaport was shut down almost 90%. In an economy where people cannot move, money cannot move, goods cannot move, that economy is dead. Right? So when that happened, all the strategies I designed died. I had to go back to the drawing board and start helping my clients how they can leverage on technology in what they call digital transformation in order to catch up. But while I was doing that, my skills were not enough. I had to create I now noticed that, okay, where the business marketplace is going to right now, there will be a very strong need for massive technology and massive business strategy coming together before any company can rise. By that time, I was not a certified consultant in anything technology. I looked for a course. That course was what? The 2 weeks, 1.2 million francs, and I paid for it. What was it? To become a robotic process automation business analyst. It means I want to understand how technology affects anything around the business operations. That was my personal development. That was not taught by a traditional university. It was taught by a certification expert somewhere who is recognized globally. So if I did not pay attention to the industry trends, I would not have developed in that direction, and I would have still been messing up right now. Because from 2020 till now, no business model stands the test of time without a pinch of technology or a digital platform. No way. Except the business operates in a village. And even in the village, technology is like an inevitable train. It's going to meet them in the village now or later or 10 years later. Technology will meet them there. You cannot avoid it. So pay attention. Subscribe to experts. Know the movers and shakers of your industry. Know what they're saying. Read what they say. Read what they're anticipating. Read what they're talking about the future of your industry. That will help you to prepare yourself and carry out personal development actions so that you do not become irrelevant. I have this fear for many African young people. Majority of them will become irrelevant in 2025 and above. I do a lot of writing and research about the future of the African economy. I even have the book, The Future of Work in Africa, where I've anticipated what may happen or may not happen in Africa between 2020 and 2035. Many will not do that, not because they don't want to do it, but because they have no idea on how to carry out the right personal development actions in order to remain relevant, because their schools will not teach them. There are many young people right now studying banking and finance. Before they leave school, nobody will need the knowledge they have studied. If that school does not add blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, fintech, and all of these new ways of moving money, you will study banking and finance and leave school and you are totally useless. You have to go back and do a core program before you can be able to catch up in the market. It's the same like marketing. Any marketing program that doesn't have TikTok, Facebook, SEO, YouTube, and all of these things as core courses, you are training those young people to come and market in the wrong direction. They're going to market things that nobody's going to buy because they're not going to get the attention of people. So start paying attention to your job trends and your industry trends. How to fail in life part 2. Let's relax with this. Do not acquire relevant skills, right? Do not acquire relevant skills. Blame the government. Do not attend industry events. This is one of the best ways to attend. Like what we're having right now, these are industry events. Because all the experts that Mia is bringing in to train you guys, they are industry experts. They're going to tell you things that are happening in the industry right now or what's going to happen tomorrow, right? Good. Backstab, cheat, and be dishonest. Nobody trusts dishonest people. When you need help, nobody's going to help you. Do not serve and support others. Do not have priorities. Do not have deadlines. Be lazy and watch too much television. You are going to fail so fast. So fast that nobody will recognize when you're failing. Okay, if you are still there and you're getting some value, indicates, let me know.
Yes, I'm still here. Thank you so much. So I've been learning a lot so far. Thank you.
Okay. Let's proceed. Let's look at creating a map for your professional future. Create a map for your professional future. This is one of the best ways that you can plan for your professional development. Have a roadmap. Have an action plan. Don't just live life like that. Have a map. Have things that, for example, if you are in your second year in the university right now, have a plan. When are you going to get your master's after your degree? When are you going to get your PhD? When are you going to get a particular certification that is important in your industry? Have a map for that. It's going to encourage you. It's going to challenge you. It's going to push you forward. Like, for example, I had a map for myself. When I finished high school, I was not able to go to the university directly because my single mom could not see me through university. So I already knew that I was already short-handed per se to go to school at the same pace like other people. So I started doing odd jobs like in Bamenda. I'm typical Banso boy, right? So the nearest city to go to from Banso is always Bamenda for many of us young people from that side. So I left Kumu to Bamenda where I did Okada, what they call commercial motorbike riding and car wash and all of these odd jobs. And that was how I was able to pay my fees through university to do my undergraduate program in financial management. And after that, in 2013, when I was trying to find my life, decide what I'm going to do with my life, started this work I was doing in the various communities and all of that, I now set a goal. I now had a professional future, a map for myself. I said that I was going to have my master's degree in 2017. That was the plan. And I was going to have my doctorate degree at the age of 30. That was the plan. But guess what? It didn't work. I had my master's finally in 2018, not 2017. But I was conscious. I was driven. I was not just living life aimlessly. Right? Yeah. And then I did not have my doctorate degree at the age of 30. I got it at the age of 31. So sometimes you're going to plan, it's not going to work the way you plan, but there's power in just having a roadmap because it keeps you unconscious. It reminds you that this is a path you have to follow because life is going to throw things at you. Let me tell you, one of the best ways for you to derail in life is not to have a roadmap. Because when you start growing up or you start living a certain life, when things come at you, maybe the family needs this, or you need this, you need that, you only keep spending money on every other thing, and you don't have a plan to spend money on things that may help you make more money tomorrow. So one of the best ways to plan for your personal development is create a map for your professional future. Have dates. Put dates. This I would like to do this. And commit yourself. Discipline yourself. Hold yourself accountable to live up to that particular map. Number 6, understand the authority different skills possess and go for superior knowledge. Understand the authority different skills possess and go for superior knowledge. Yes, as a professional planning for your personal development, one thing I want to challenge you is sit down and assess your industry and ask yourself this one important question. Which skills do I need to acquire that have a lot of authority when I demonstrate the use of these skills? Let me tell you something. The skills that a tech guy needs to become an authority in that industry are not the same skills that a musician needs. Like, for example, public speaking is an authority skill for me because it's very important in my work as a trainer consultant. Research is an authority skill for me. Digital transformation is an authority skill for me. But let me tell you, there is somebody somewhere that public speaking is not an authoritative skill for that person. Like, for example, a camera guy, like the camera guy who's taking those my pictures. That guy can work a lot of millions. One of my clients, a camera guy. The guy, his camera company makes at almost like 3 million profit every month. This guy, I have never seen him holding the mic anywhere. But he makes millions. He doesn't need public speaking skill for it. He just needs, his most important authority skill is negotiation. To negotiate deals and go to shoot the pictures, weddings, whatever he's doing. You see the example? So years after I've known him, he has never start anywhere, like just stand anywhere to say something. I've never seen it. So he doesn't even need it to impress anybody. So it's an important skill for him, but it is not an authority skill. So, and it is your responsibility to identify authority skills in your sector and develop it. What are those authority skills? That will be that will be a very important foundation for you to start driving your personal development. It's the same like I start and say, well, you know what? You will need a good certification and the right knowledge in order to merge business strategy and technology in order to create better value. And automatically getting a certified program in robotic process automation or whatever becomes an authority skill for me in 2021 and 2022. But let me tell you something. It was not an authority skill in 2018, 2017. So look at yourself. What field are you in? What is your sector? What are the core authority skills that you need to develop? Identify them and go for superior authority. What do I mean by superior authority? Go for the right training. Get trained by a top expert if possible. Get trained by a top institution in that skill if possible. You're going to need it for you to thrive and win in this life. Next, identify skill gaps and take responsibility. This is almost like the next one, the last one, but it's more specific in the sense that you can sit as a professional and you look at your industry, you look at yourself and say, okay, you know what, there are gaps here. I have the following gaps in my journey and I need to take responsibility and be good at them. Maybe you have noticed that for you to survive and thrive in your job, you need coaching skills, but you don't have the coaching skills. That is a skill gap. You may need to do a certified program to become a coach. Or maybe you identify and notice that for you to survive and thrive in this field, you need to master virtual tools. You will need to know how to use Zoom and Google Docs, Google Drive, Skype, Slack, all of these virtual collaboration platforms. That's a skill gap. You don't know how to use them, but you need it. Okay, go learn it. Go and learn it. It's very important to make sure that you fill the skill gaps around your career and your life. And this is a very important place for you to plan your personal development. If you look at the way I've structured these points, they are to avoid you studying anything. Because I've seen people just buying books anyhow. Oh, I want to study. Where will you start and end? Research says that every day, is it 1 billion new information is being uploaded on Google every day? Something like that. I forgot that particular research. But a lot is being, guys are creating. There's always new knowledge every day. Guys are always trying to create something and mix elements and build a new strategy and new principles. And there's always something new that is being created by intelligent guys somewhere, intelligent young lady somewhere. But this is not a time for you to study anything. It's a time for you to study relevant things. Personal development doesn't mean that you buy any kind of books or attend any kind of seminar. No. You need to be very intentional. If you are reading a book, how will this book fill a gap in your life? If you are going for a seminar, how will the knowledge, how will the things they have mentioned that they will teach in this seminar fill the gap in your personal development journey? If you are trying to take a course, how will this particular course fill a gap in your journey? I have seen the importance of skills. I have seen it. I teach a lot about skills. I am a certified skills development expert by UREX. And I've seen the power of skills. I have seen a struggling young person become a highly paid professional in less than 3 months for acquiring the right skills. I have spent time to create a lot of video courses and text courses around core skills that if you get them, you're going to thrive as a professional. I always say something. One of my favorite quotes is, if you want to go to the next level, acquire the skills that the next level requires. If you really, really want to go to the next level, acquire the skills the next level requires. I always tell my clients in business a lot. I use a lot of clients because I do 99% of my work with business people, executives, and so on. I always tell them, if you want your business to start making 10 million francs every month as profit, you need to acquire the knowledge and the skills that can qualify you to create value that you can sell for 10 million francs. Stop wishing. Get back to the drawing board. But this is always one of the major things I get to work with when it comes to people who already have running businesses. Oh, Joybert, I want to increase my profit. Well, I want to increase my customers. I want to increase this. I want to expand to a new town. I want to expand to a new country. Okay, that's good. But do you have the skills that can enable you to thrive that next level that you so much desire? Do you have it? For every next level that you desire, there is a skill that you need to develop to function from that level efficiently. It's the same like one of my mentees came and said, you know what, I want to start having international consultants and consulting jobs and all of that. I said, that's good. I like the way you're dreaming. But do you have the skills to perform an international job? I asked him, how many economists in Africa have you analyzed? If they put in Nigeria right now to consult with a company, do you know what it takes to research business in Nigeria? They were looking at me. Now, that's a skill. That's a research skill. You need to know those kind of things. So don't just desire, don't just wish, but back it up. When you wish, analyze yourself. What are the skill gaps that exist in my life that I need to develop and feel that will qualify me to be able to manifest the reality of this dream that I have? Number 8, develop innovative learning curriculum and action. Develop innovative learning curriculum and action. What does that mean? I always challenge people that please make sure that you're always learning something outside what you normally study, outside your field. Like, for example, if you are in healthcare right now, start Start studying how blockchain will affect the healthcare industry. That's an innovative learning curriculum. Yeah. If you are in I don't know, but just try to stretch yourself. If you're in, let's say, physical education, okay, start studying how maybe too much social media can affect somebody's psychology not to be excited about doing sports in the morning. I don't know. I'm just mixing all of that up, right? Just begin to look at how, try to step aside and look at how another industry can be relevant in your own industry, or how another skill can be relevant in the current skills that you have. But make sure that you're always learning something that is innovative. Don't just be in your own industry. Stretch yourself. Step aside. Try to understand how some people look at things. Try to go closer to your life. If you run a business, like example, like there was a time that I in my company right now we have 13 employees right now, and these people all have different type of skills. The accountant is there, the operator person is there, logistic guy is there, and all of that. And those are things that I'm not fully expert in. So sometimes I just go ask them a couple of questions just to know how some things work. Especially in business, you need to know some things, know the basics of certain things that are important for you. It stretches you, it enhances you. So look at some things that are important in your whole operations and start learning. Learn something innovative beyond what you do. Although you are not a business person, although you are just a normal employee, why not take a course in business? Take a course on how to access emerging markets and just understand what it takes. What does it take for a company to enter new countries? What is the process? What do I need to pay attention to? You sometimes just know some of these things and just stretch your mindset in that direction. Maybe you may foresee that in the time to come, maybe you may be promoted as a manager, and one of your roles as a manager of that company may be get the company to operate in another country. Right? Good. Number 9, desire to disrupt old patterns. Desire to disrupt old patterns. Yes, if you really want to be exceptional in your personal development, always desire to disrupt old patterns. Look at something that has been existing for several years and desire, you know what, I'm going to create a new pattern to disrupt the old pattern. Because something has been there all the time doesn't mean that that's the best option to do things. You can decide and disrupt old patterns. And I always say this. If you really want to stand out in your industry, learn how to do these 3 things. Number 1, challenge assumptions in the industry. Look at things that people are assuming around your sector and industry and make up your mind, I'm going to challenge these assumptions. And start studying, start developing yourself so that you can challenge the assumptions. Number 2, confront constraints. Confront the various constraints in the industry. Look at what is acting like a constraint, like a challenge, and decide that, okay, you know what, I'm going to make it as my mission to confront this challenge and create value that can sort out this particular constraint. Push your mind to uncover future possibilities. Yeah, look at your industry, push your mind. What are the possibilities that may happen in my industry in 2025, 2030, 2023, 2024? Push your mind like that. It will help you to have a very powerful personal development process because your mind will be working from another dimension in another process. Conclusion, and I can take questions. You will never build an incredible career in this age through assumptions and guesswork. You will never build an incredible career in this age through assumptions and guesswork. You have to be intentional in your personal development journey. After this session, you may have to sit down with a pen and a paper and have a clear personal development journey that you're going to have for yourself for the next 5 to 10 years, for the next 2 years, for the next, even just for 2022. Have a very clear plan on how you're going to develop yourself. It's very important for your journey, very critical. Have plans. How many courses are you going to take? Which courses are you going to take? How many books are you going to read? Which books are you going to read? How many seminars are you going to attend? Which seminars are important in your journey as a person? Are you going to meet a coach? Are you going to meet a role model, a mentor, whoever? But you need to be very intentional in this process and take note of the elements I've shared with you. If you practice them exceptionally, you'll always be a key player in your industry. It's hard for you to be irrelevant when you understand how to implement all of these elements so they can be at the top of your game. I always advise people, there is the possibility for you to be the best there is in your industry. But it's going to take you sacrifice, it's going to take you time, and it's going to cost you sleepless nights. But again, that possibility is there, and it is your responsibility to do what is required for you to shine in that dimension. Thank you so much, everybody. I can take questions now.